Bonjour, Kinamagan and Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to this overview of our Week 33 learning plan. Welcome into today's edition for this 22nd of April, 2022. Lots of 22s today. We'll begin as always on the stream page where you can see how students can quickly send me an email. I also accept emails from mireland@sagship.org, and attached is my Google Voice number. If you are going to text on Google Voice, please leave your name and your student's name so that I know who I am talking to, as these numbers most often are not saved in my phone. You have last week's learning plan. We'll have a new newsletter that'll be discussed here, and it'll be posted in here in just the next hour or two, and then our April breakfast menu. We also have some information if you're interested in students attending Mount Pleasant Middle School. We do have this form right here, and I'm going to open that up for just a second for you. If you have this form at home, please feel free to send it back with your student. You can choose to take it to the Mount Pleasant Middle School office on your own. If you send it back to me, I will direct it to our K-12 staff who can submit it for you. There was also, in addition to this document, a document that allows you to receive services from our K-12 department. If you are interested in that and you don't have a document, please email me and I will have one sent over to me and I can send it home with your student. The quicker you can get those things in, the quicker and the more likely your student is to get the classes that they want, especially when it comes to electives. One more thing to show you today on our classwork tab is the Padlet. Some of the students really like to go here. They particularly enjoy Duolingo, which allows them to choose the language that they want, but it includes links to the other things we're doing, most of which can be done independently. Some of these things are referenced in our class during the day, but it's not obligated for them to do it during the day or at home. We also have our Week 33 learning plan. We are finishing up support coach next week. For the rest of the way, we'll be working on specific standards in areas where I feel that we can use a little more improvement. As we continue to go forward, we will continue with writing opinions. Math, we're finishing up on measurement and going into some geometry. Science, we're continuing with chemical magic. Social studies, looking at the Articles of Confederation and then the Constitution. Math review, we're working on ordered pairs in addition to our spirals through the standards we covered early in the year, as it's very important for students to maintain their knowledge. I don't want them to just be able to assess it and get a passing score, but I want them to actually know it so that when they walk into middle school next year, it's really that much easier. Please keep in mind that things on here are subject to change based on a variety of different factors, such as the timing throughout the day. So it's quite frequent that you might click on the one online and it be slightly different than the one that is presented here. Do have our newsletter as well. It's a mention of highlights that include the mention of the middle school transitions. We just talked about that. Also encouraging students and parents to have discussions on maintaining that focus. We do have our NWEA testing and our DIBELS and spelling inventories coming up sometime in May. And we want to make sure our students can show exactly where they grew, so that I can also kind of give feedback to parents on areas that you might work on over the summer. Some of the resources that I talked about on the Padlet will be available as well. And that gives a student a chance to say, oh, yes, I really should work on this. Note on our masking, as of this week, students are not required to wear a mask, but they are completely welcome to do such. Some students want to do it for their own comfort, and some parents and guardians ask that their students wear the mask, and that is great. We are also encouraging students who don't feel well to consider wearing a mask on that day. We also want to point out that meeting registration is now open. If you're interested in the meeting program, more information is available through Deb Smith. The number and email is provided there. That program will run from June 20th to July 21st. You do not have to be an SCA student to participate in that program. What are we learning? We're learning about measurement right now, especially about converting customary metric measurements. We're going to review a lot of things as we go down the stretch. Language arts are finishing up with persuasive nonfiction texts. Those studies, as mentioned, the Constitution. In science, we're working on chemical reactions. Just a final thing, the reminder is that students should turn in their electronics at the front office at the beginning of each day, and then pick it up at the end of the school day. Anything that comes into my room, I will send up for parent or guardian pickup. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I know there's a festival down the road that our students are very excited about. So if you're attending that, hopefully it's safe and dry and warm. And looks like it's going to be pretty warm this weekend compared to what we have been experiencing. But I hope everyone has a Minwa Bamapi.